it's not really a big weekend, but in terms of Manchester United and Arsenal, the last head-to-head between Jose Mourinho and Arsene Wenger, Kev, in the Premier League, on the back of a performance like last night, I mean, God, it's hard to know what to feel about it.
We've barely had a big weekend in the Premier League since about November. It's been the most kind of pointless season, I think. I mean, Man City have been great, take nothing away from them, but it's just a huge lack of interest in this whole thing. I mean, I've done a piece in the Sunday World this weekend. I don't know what Eamon thinks about this, but it looks like Jose Mourinho hates Arsene Wenger and has done for many years, but I think what he actually hates is the fact that Arsene Wenger is treated as almost a member of the British royal family when he hasn't won the Premier League for 10 years. I think that's what riled him. You look at in the 10-12 years since Wenger last won the league, you've got 3 league titles for Mourinho. He's won the Champions League, he's won the Europa League, he's won cups all over Europe, and yet Wenger still was kind of put on this pedestal, certainly almost in the last couple of years, and I think that really riled Mourinho, and he almost used Wenger as kind of his punch bag, not in a personal sense, but just because he hated the way that he wasn't respected as much as Wenger was, despite winning so much, but partly because of the way Jose kind of carries himself and the sort of attitude that he has, which is quite unpleasant to sort of behold at times. But I think what he said this week, that he wants to be friends with Arsene Wenger, I think he can forget about that. I think I've been at many press conferences where he says, I will not talk about that man, and it's not very often Arsene Wenger sidesteps a question, but when it comes to Jose Mourinho, he can't stand the guy, and they'll have a handshake on Sunday, but I don't think it'll ever go to the point where you look at Ferguson and Wenger, who are kind of friendly now. I don't think it'll ever get to that. Mourinho's kind of gone way too far down the road and burying Wenger in a variety of ways down the years, and I think that their kind of any hopes of a reconciliation have long since passed.
Yeah, it would be very like Mourinho to just, offer the hand and say everything's great between the two, Eamon, but we know that's not the case, and I imagine they'll be quite happy to walk off into the sunset not being friends with each other.
Yeah, I mean, Mourinho is an O-class individual, and whatever you say about Wenger, he has a bit of French, a bit of Gallic elan about him, and he's a very intense man. I think he'd probably feel the same contempt for Mourinho as a person that we all feel.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll go through the motions, perhaps. I think Mourinho at a press conference today, I think, spoke very kindly of Wenger, but that's just sentiment. I mean, his behaviour has been appalling, not just with Wenger, but with everybody. But particularly with Wenger, he said some very cruel things, which he considers to be gamesmanship, but I consider it to be just, disgusting, really. He's a tramp, Mourinho, to be truthful.